Imagine a world where we have a technology where grid lines come down. We don't need it anymore. When there's snowstorms, hurricanes, we won't be as affected as much because we won't lose power. Each home, each device has its own source of energy. We won't depend on factors like geography, natural resources, government policies. Freeways, traffics are gone because who knows, we will have flying vehicles that are more clean energy and much more efficient. There will be more trees. We can Uber to space. We will restore Earth, and we will have more time to spend with our loved ones. We would have more time to do the things that we love. It's not just Earth. It's the whole cosmos. We have to remember where our evolution is going. How will this be possible? The only way is to become a peaceful civilization when we can match the higher being's frequency. Otherwise, we are a toxic, dangerous planet. We are all so invested in our careers, relationships, goals, based on the world that doesn't include other celestial beings, antigravity, free energy, healing devices, and many more abundant stuff. There is this fear that AI will replace us. Actually, they will do our jobs and make our lives easy. The most powerful thing we can do is look into our hearts, imagine what a world could be. And are we ready for this? If yes, then let's go. If no, ask yourself, what parts of you needs attention? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Radiant Sunday podcast. This podcast is for any one of you who wants to live a healthy, vibrant life and to be fearlessly authentic, awakening your unseen magic. We use spirituality, neuroscience, and psychology tools to live in your soul's truth. Thank you for being here, and I can't wait to build incredible things together as we all weave into each other's collective stories. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and happy Virgo season. We are on episode 7 now. Amazing. Virgo is associated with qualities like practicality, attention to detail, analytical thinking, and focus on health and well-being. To start this podcast, I want to do a little astrological forecast. This season, we are going to prioritize our body, taking rest. You are going to sit on that couch or lay in bed for an X amount of time, and you're going to tell your body, we are going to rest for 30 minutes. We're going to take a nap. We're going to nap for an hour or so. Take intentional time to rest. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is associated with the mind and communication. So we might have a heightened awareness of physical and mental health. It is also an excellent time to start new health routines such as diet, exercise, and to pay attention to self-care. What I typically do when I wake up, I take a pinch of salt and put it sublingually because you need minerals for water to bind and properly hydrate your cells. And then I go for a walk, maybe drink my coffee about an hour or so after. We're also going to eat more vegetables and more fruits because they are lighter and they have a distinct energetic vibration. Fruits and vegetables, being natural and unprocessed, are associated with higher vibrational frequencies, which can positively impact our spiritual energy and awareness. This allows to detoxify our body and mind to remove impurities and enables us to achieve a higher state of consciousness. This doesn't mean that you have to completely cut all of your meat and processed food, but just listen to your body's needs. Ask yourself, am I really hungry, or is this nourishing my body, my soul, or am I just emotional right now? Am I bored? If you feel that a slice of pizza would make you feel good, would satisfy you, then go for it. If you feel like a salad would be a better option, then choose the latter. Virgo's energy is very methodical and detail-oriented. You might be drawn to be more involved in organizing, planning, improving efficiency in your daily life. Get yourself a planner, write down, schedule, meal plan, anything that can help relieve the stress. Because Virgo rules the gut and nervous system, and we want both healthy gut biome and healthy mind. Be mindful of not getting lost in the details to the point of perfectionism. While attention to detail, it is a strength, it can also become a weakness if taken to extremes. Just like how I am with my podcast. I've been trying to record this over and over, but this is my last attempt, so it is what it is. More political drama, as expected, that's always. Venus in retrograde ends September 4th. Then we go into the Cazimi, September 6th and 7th. There will be wide outages in technology. Everything is gonna be a little glitchy. Some things happen. This typically happens during Mercury in retrograde. Again, we are all energetic beings. We are all affected when there's changes in energies and frequencies. The separation between the veil is non-existent. It's not there anymore. People are going to be more sensitive, more awakening happening, and it's going to be interesting. It will be easier to access information through spirituality. I think we're going to be more intuitive and spiritual people. We've been cultivating this for a very long time. A lot of truths and not true will be revealed soon. It will be a whole nother chaos when other people start feeling and seeing these other dimensions, but that's what we're here. And that is exactly what our topic is going to be today. So when these changes happen to you, you're not going to be like, what is happening? Like, where do I go? You're just going to come to Radiant Sunday because I'm your girl and I got the answers for you. Anyway, I'm going to best explain what is happening from a spiritual standpoint. This is based on my understanding from my guides, along with my awakening, my psychonaut remote viewing, and my background in biology. When I had my very first awakening, my brain took so long to comprehend this, and I'm still trying to. I have so many more questions every day, but I think I've solidified some. When I had my very first spiritual awakening, which I will dive into in another podcast, I was probably debilitated in like 3 to 4 days trying to assimilate and trying to understand this massive download that just got to me. I felt so weak, and all I wanted to do was sleep and process this information. My brain was flooded. Energy, this bright light I saw during my Kundalini, it felt like this unified force that was unconditional love. And that was my come to God moment. It was this vast conscious energy, and I was transported to the cosmos and basically flashed all of the history. When you experience a Kundalini awakening, it's almost like a rush of energy. I was doing my regular, breath work, yoga, and I was in my tub after that, and I suddenly felt this rush of energy just like coming down from the back of my spine. It felt kind of hot, but it was like circling, and later it like rose up and went up straight to my head. I felt like this popping sound. It felt like a rocket has just popped my head, and my brain could just not comprehend it. I was just in awe. And anyway, we're going to talk about the ascension now. The ascension has been the topic of the spiritual community for the last 2-3 weeks. It's all we've been talking about. And while other people have been watching the fires and all of these happening in the news, like, we're over here in the background trying to understand all the changes that are happening. Because more and more people are awakening, and an ascension refers to a process of personal and collective growth and evolution towards a state of conscious awareness and spirituality. So you might experience some shift in your perspective, maybe beyond the limitations of everyday ego-driven perceptions. This could entail in experiencing higher states of consciousness, such as love, unity, and spiritual awakening. You might find yourself doing more meditation, mindfulness, energy work, self-reflection, and a vibrational shift. You shift as a transition from a third dimensional reality to fifth dimension reality. In this context, the dimension represents different levels of consciousness and vibrational frequencies. I will dive more into it. Then there is the splitting of realities. The earth is spiritually splitting. We are getting ascended to higher dimensions, and we are more aligned in our purpose. There is more greater harmony, love, and understanding. And the people who choose to stay in 3D, they could experience still the same life, but there is more purification and healing, connectedness to oneness. Celestial beings and their roles have a more clear purpose. These beings will be portrayed as guides and helpers on the path to our higher consciousness. That's why our government is kind of forced to tell us gradually about these other celestial beings so we don't panic. Of course, they've known this all this time, and we've known it all this time, but sometimes we choose not to believe it. But the momentum is moving fast, and they've all been kind of advised to tell the public now. I'm going to explain dimensional theory based on my understanding. My brain took so long to comprehend this, and I'm still trying to, so bear with me. For those of you listening, you're probably like, what dimensions? Like, what are you talking about? Third dimension, fifth dimension? You're crazy. Hear me out, okay? Most people think that God, in this biblical sense, he is a guy in the heaven that controls the universe. There is no guy in the clouds. God is in a person or an entity. It is energy with some type of intelligence, some type of consciousness. The Bible is quite vague and unreliable source in religion, and they hold these ideas which most people follow as faith, but it's hard to apply the Bible in quantum physics and apply most of the laws. Instead of taking it literally, if you take a closer look, it explains in-depth quantum physics and astrophysics, experiments and theories that have already been proven. I think the Bible is how the universe began and used to relay complex ideas. The truth is hidden in many religions, art, geometry, music, astrology, and also in our hearts. God, source, or light is energy. There are 9 dimensions, but they can keep going in this reality, and science has a lot of it figured out, but a big part of it is the spiritual and other celestial beings. Imagine everything that we knew about science, plus angels, demons, aliens, etc. It is an energy form that created all, that is all, and everywhere at the same time. God, source, and energy is within all of us and is us. Now, dimensions. Think in geometry, not in 3D sense that has morals. The Bible, whoever wrote it, maybe they were quantum physicists at that time, trying to explain that there is an entire quantum world out there. However, education wasn't too good back then, and simplifying intense quantum physics compounded by translation from Hebrew to English so regular people can understand is quite difficult. Now, if you look into the Bible, the Fibonacci theory, you can convert many parts of the book that you can get the numbers but are frequencies of the Fibonacci spiral, also called God's thumbprint. Everything in nature, because we are one. We are nature. We are all from the same light source that fractalize in many consciousness. First dimension, there was singularity. It splits through vibration due to entropy. The positive ions split into two. Imagine a flat land, okay? A flat piece of land. And in this flat land, everything exists on a flat surface, like a piece of paper. The residents on the flat land, you can draw a stick figure, but you can only move two directions, left or right. That's first dimension. In string theory, it suggests that the fundamental building blocks of the universe are incredibly tiny strings, vibrating at different frequencies. To make the math work in string theory, physicists propose that existence of extra dimensions, more than the familiar 3 dimensions of space and time. They got this one right. The string is being the matrix, and 2D, the photonic light, splits again, and we get matter. Then you have duality. You have 2 ions, positive and negative. In 3D, matter splits again through mitosis. We get gravity. The dimensions, height, allowing objects to move not only from left to right, up and down, but also forward and backwards. This would create a 3-dimensional world like the one we live in. It is the space that takes from point A and point B. You are taking space. You are moving yourself to get there. And 4D is time. This is what they call the purgatory, as Christians would say it. The ghosts, the spirits, the ones who have not transcended to higher realms are stuck here, stuck in time, in this consciousness, because they haven't passed on. So 3D and 4D are kind of simultaneously together. And then 5D is the consciousness. This mirrors 3rd and 4th dimension. The space where the higher self, your spirit guides, and the masters are. So 5D is kind of difficult. I had a tough time learning about 5D, but 5D rules ourselves. Until we know how to do it, it's hard to live in 5D, so we can relax. 5D mirrors the 3D and 4D. Watch yourself in the mirror. For example, 4D is the time passing by, and you are going to look at yourself in the mirror. 5D is the mirror looking back at you. It is the reflection. Now, let's complicate this a little bit more. You are living through your timeline, say your life. We have age, right? That is 4D. And you have a reflection, which is the parallel life reflecting and watching your own process. It's kind of like the pyramid. You're on the bottom of the pyramid, you have space and time, but when you ascend to 5D, you can see the whole picture, the whole story. Basically, you can see your whole life. You can say, I am made of matter, of atom, living in 4D time, projecting in 5D. 5D is what answers why and what am I here for. That's why most of our spirit guides and masters are in 5D, because it can see from a higher level. This is the past, present, and future. You are aware of your whole existence, and 5D is the dimension of consciousness. It can see the totality of time and space. Our guides are like our big sister, big brothers, and they are helping us help themselves to heal their past. They have transcended as space and time. It's a little harder to understand this in a linear concept, but there are no lines. 5D is the unity between time and space. We can manifest our reality much faster if there is clarity and consciousness. There's no confusion, no conflicts. It was like this feeling of unconditional love, but at the same time, I was feeling everything at once. And 5D, the higher self, I call am, and together I am. There is no controlling us. It's just us as our higher selves. I thought my higher self was controlling, and telling me what to do or planning my whole life, but the concept of higher self is just saying, my pancreas is a part of Selene. That pancreas is still Selene because it's encapsulated inside my body, and together we are one entity. Now we talk about quantum leaping. The threshold between time and space that encompasses both. It's like turning the corner. That's why we can't see aliens like they can just come and go, because to them, it's just like turning around the corner. For us, we have to build a rocket, we have to fly out to space, and it will take us light years and light years just to get to the next dimension. But because they can use portals to just go through different dimensions, they can just come and go. At the same time, for us to be able to get to 5D, we would have to die, like physically die. But if we're able to ascend, then we can move ourselves to 5D. And that's the space where anything that we can think of, we can just manifest it right away. 6D is the bridge. This is where the architects of the universe live. In 6D, angels, demons, the higher beings, they're all working together. There is no physical hell where you are burning. That's only in Christianity. But they are all working together to construct our realities here. So 6D is where you can find Merkabahs. Merkabahs times infinity inside the flower of life. This is the part where the filming starts. You have your actors, you have your scenery, you have all the things you need to create a movie. However, the architects of the universe or the producers thought they should thicken the plot for character development. Let's make it harder so they can learn their lessons here on Earth, because Earth is a school, right? Then 7D is where the archangels live. The resonance expands to 8D. It radiates in 12 directions, creating this toroidal flower of life. And then the director says, lights, camera, action. The camera captures this and it records into film. So the 7 laws of the universe, often associated with the Hermeticism and sometimes referred to the Hermetic laws, or the 7 Hermetic principles, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure who was believed to possess great wisdom and knowledge. So you have the 7 laws, which is the law of mentalism, law of correspondence, law of vibration, law of polarity, law of rhythm, law of cause and effect, law of gender. 8D is where the flower of life is. Every link has a node which corresponds to different realities. The film starts recording over and over, capturing, then it projects the light, the hologram of the movie. It's just an idea. You can't touch it, but you can watch it. 9D is the I am. This is you in totality. This is the movie each person in the theater is inspired by. So they play this movie and we each perceive something different. But we each create our own story out of this, which is our lives. God was the idea that moved everything. We are telling God's idea, living our own stories, according from the inspiration that we got from the main movie. So God's source is not the creator. He is the idea. I am. It is the divine inspiration. Respira in Latin means to breathe. Spiritual level where you can find. This is where you can find most high beings. The only way to connect to 9D is through your breath, your prana. You understand it all. And this is also where the tree of life is. So the tree of life is basically where the software is, the Wi-Fi, the software updates. It is like a central hub, the back office of everything. And then you go back to first dimension, alpha, omega. If you realize that there are an infinite number of parallel realities, it means that there are infinite number of parallel versions of Earth that coexist simultaneously right now. You don't actually change the world you're on, you change yourself. You shift yourself incrementally to different versions of Earth that already exist, that are more and more reflective of the change you make within you. People may still exist in the world you left behind, but you may never interact again because they might be in a different vibrational level on Earth. When you think of yourself as an indestructible, eternal, infinite being, nothing is ever lost. It's good to touch on the mystery schools because I think this is important in a lot of our history. Mystery schools, they went underground, including groups like the Rosicrucians, the heretics, and the alchemists, the secret or esoteric organizations that emerged during different historical periods. They share a common emphasis on hidden or specialized knowledge where often driven underground due to religious and societal pressures. The Rosicrucians, they were a mysterious, semi-legendary group that emerged in the early 17th century. And they had teachings of alchemy, the Kabbalah, the Christian mysticism. Then there's the heretics, groups like the Gnostics, the Cathars, and various medieval sects. The alchemist, the Masonic lodges, the esoteric orders. A lot of Shakespeare's work contained hidden, esoteric, or mystical symbolism. They were variously influenced by the Renaissance intellects, such as the mystical currents, including Hermeticism and alchemy. It was believed that he was made up by a bunch of scholars like Francis Bacon, Christopher Marlowe, Edwin de Vere, and so many more. Other famous mystics are Leonardo da Vinci, Sir Isaac Newton, Carl Jung, Manly P. Hall, Nikola Tesla, so many more. And they are the ones who really changed the way our society is now. Even Socrates, Plato, they were all polymaths. There are many shapes that you'll find in the universe, and that's why the Mason symbol means God in geometry. A lot of their knowledge were from higher beings that helped them build many incredible structures. I mean, George Washington, Mozart, Voltaire, Winston Churchill, Lafayette, so many more. They didn't just come up with these ideas. They were highly, highly connected to higher dimensions. Nikola Tesla, who developed alternating currents, electricity, and various other innovations such as electricity, magnetism, wireless communication. Tesla says 369 are the keys to the universe. That is because when you are in the third dimension, it bridges to the sixth. We have portals here that can get us to the sixth dimension, and the sixth dimension can get us to the ninth dimension. There are portals here that are like elevators to other dimensions. Let's say if you open a portal, you can peek through and access the buttons on the cosmic elevator. There is an ocean of vibrant consciousness inside each one of us, and it is right at the source and the base of our minds, within our thought and all matter. That is why meditation is so important. Transcendental meditation, where you can say the mantra over and over for 20 minutes, but it allows you to dive within and transcend to experience this pure consciousness. In physics, they call this the unified field. It's not the intellectual, but it's the experiencing of it that does everything. Enlightenment is our pure potential, and negativity starts to diminish this. I was once filled with anxiety, fears, but through meditation, it has changed my life. I have better communication with my guides. I can make better decisions. I found a much deeper purpose, and I can wake up and just be in awe and grateful of where our future is heading. It all starts with self-examination. Know thyself, be authentic, live your true life, and understand to act on your passions, because that is your magnetic compass pointing you to your magnetic north. The most difficult thing is to try and become someone you're not. Then the right people will come to you. One thing's for sure, our hearts are portals itself. We are the technology. Everything has consciousness. If you investigate more and more, you watch more videos, you read, many philosophies like yoga and Buddhism have been teaching us about this forever. Yoga isn't just about poses. Yoga isn't just about breathwork. Buddhism isn't just about sitting down, chanting, and meditating. That barely scratches the surface. They teach about this to tap into these abilities, to tap into this vast cosmic knowledge that can change our future. So when the time comes, you awaken, you are prepared. I still have so much to learn and so much to share, so many that I don't know, but having long form conversations, allowing ourselves to be open and vulnerable is the start. I created this community so we can learn from each other and raise the collective's vibration. Again, from a science perspective, our frequency, everything in the universe is about frequency. We are like Earth's neurons. The Earth's frequency reverberates to other planets and galaxies. We are all connected. What we do affects them as well. They mostly care about Earth and the time-space continuum, but if they wanted to harm us, they would have done it a long time ago. Anyway, take what resonates with you, use deductive reasoning, listen to your heart and what speaks to you. Thank you all for listening. I know it's a long one, but I finally got it out of my mind and my chest, and my guides have been bugging me, but my task keeps getting harder and harder, but just doing my best and gathering all of us together collectively to do our missions for the good of all. It's an amazing time to be alive, and the future is bright. Remember, change is necessary for yours and our evolution. And of all things that I've learned, I think we need to remind ourselves more that loving ourselves is paramount and it can catalyze change. One mantra that I love to use is, I am who I am, and that is enough. It all starts in examining ourselves, and then from there, we can work on our differences. Thank you all for listening. This has been an exciting podcast, and I can't wait to hear about your ideas, what you think. You can follow me on Instagram at RadiantSunday222, or you can join us in our website. I will be releasing more courses, how you can deepen your practice even more. Until next time, have a great day. Namaste, and if no one's told you today, I fucking love you.